All right. So Scorpion is back, and like most of the returning characters in MK1, our design team kind of looked at 30 years of history. Kind of like Liu Kang reshaped the world, you know, in his vision.
Right.
Our design team kind of looked at the past and was like, what are the core moves that you absolutely have to bring back?
Absolutely.
What are the moves that you want to kind of give a fresh coat of paint?
Yep.
And then what's the new stuff that we could do?
Always got to keep it fresh.
Exactly.
That's
so
right.
with Scorpion, you start off, you have the spear, and you have the teleport.
Basics.
Straight 1992, you have to have it. They're back. Get over here. You get over there. But then, from Deadly Alliance, Hellfire's back.
Love it.
And then,
And that tracks, of course.
yes.
Yeah.
In this game, it is a low. It is not unblockable. But if
Right.
you EX it, it'll be the classic unblockable version. It lights you on fire.
Okay, cool.
Then he has some new stuff, primarily using his rope and the hook at the end.
Right.
So
I'm not even going to try and say what it is.
I know, but I'm not going to try to
Yeah,
pronounce
it's too much
it.
pressure to get it right.
Fair.
He has this super long-range sweep, anti-air. It's used in a bunch of strings, and he has special moves with it.
I call that the...
That's what it's called in the move list. And then one of the cool new moves is Air Spear, where he yanks them in the air.
Right.
And this goes perfectly well with what I want to talk about next, which is the air combos. Air combos are back. They haven't been in a game for
20 years?
2006.
Yeah,
So it's
just going
super
on that.
fun.
It's going on 20, yeah. Oh, and I love that combo. It's like almost classic MK3 smoke.
Yes.
Right? The knee to the pop-up. Ooh-wee!
So air combos can be used to end combos, but they can also extend them. Like you'll see here. Do the 1-3 in the air, they bounce up, and you can continue.
See, if we were playing them today, I'd be doing this too.
Oh, I know.
There's also some that end in throws, splats, all different kind of reactions.
Where is a swaggy combo? We got anything? Oh! I wouldn't have done that.
No.
And then you can also do cool stuff with your cameo. Like you were saying earlier, maybe you want to double down on your stuff you can do.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Also, I think it's his 3-3-3 combo also reminds me of like a classic combo too.
Yes.
Yeah, like the another MK3 combo,
That's
right?
right.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Just those little nods and throwbacks. That's some of my favorite.
Air combat is one of my favorite things in this game as well. I've had so much
Absolutely.
fun just like
Yes.
trying to like rack my brain figuring out what to do in the air, and there's so many choices too.
Yeah, the number of combo routes in this game are like really extensive, and it's super fun. You can also, one of the coolest things is the cameos is coming with combos on the fly.
Yeah.
Like while you're actually playing and you're like, oh, I can convert into this, and then you do it, like stuff like that. It feels awesome.
Goofy as always.
Yes. So one of the main things about Johnny Cage is he is a mix-up and pop-up combo starter machine.
Yep.
Like,
We're not showing it yet. Are we showing it?
Let's go.
Okay, let's go to it. All right.
a ton of his new moves pop up for a combo.
And one thing that you'll notice quickly is he doesn't have like his traditional Johnny Cage energy, right? Like
That's right.
Like, you know, he could manipulate energy when he was doing his kicks, or he would throw the force balls and things like that, right? Like he doesn't use this as more of a grounded character, but still has those same attacks, right?
Right. In fact, he does not have the energy balls at all. In the new era, Liu Kang has reshaped the world, and Johnny Cage is strictly anti-zoning. He hates it. He can't stand it. But to
What a
make up for
world.
that,
No magic.
yeah, to make up for that, he has excellent rushdown and unique ways to get in.
Yeah.
So one of the new moves we like to show is this command dash. He quickly goes in, you can use it to cover space, and if you're close, he can actually go through the opponent.
He's that fast.
He can also do it twice.
Which helps you close in pressure, of course, too.
Exactly.
Now, is he vulnerable during that time?
He is.
Okay, gotcha.
Another new thing he has, which I think is one of the neatest thing about him, is the hype meter.
I gotta
Okay.
hype it up!
This
So-
is it. This is the thing.
This is what sold you.
So in the corner you can see the little star.
Yeah.
As he does special moves and certain taunts, he'll start to build it up.
Right.
So what are the taunts? Well, if you hold L2 after doing some of his special moves, he will hold a pose and look really cool.
And notice the stars filling up.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah. I'll do some other stuff so you can see. So for
I love
example,
it.
he has his nut punch, but he can actually hold it and do a taunt
Right.
version. Then, once it's full, you're fully charged, and when you're ready,
It's time to wow out.
you activate it. So this gives you the ability to special cancel special moves into other special moves.
That's a lot of special and canceling. Oh, so you do double nut punch.
That
That's
was
right.
pretty cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And can't you do like multiple kicks in a row and just be like, blam, blam,
That's
blam,
right.
blam? Yeah. Now, if that's not the top of fun, I don't know what is.
This is what excited me the most. And also, like, I think we talked about it, some of the information got out during our event in Los Angeles, that you have, if you go down, 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 it's a taunt now. If you try a teabag, that will also give you hype meter.
So there's something else the hype meter does that's really neat. It allows him to get an EX move without the cost of a bar.
Right.
So for example, EX, rising uppercut, combos. So let me build it up. Once you're in hype,
Come on.
you can hold the button down and get a free version of it. So once per combo, a free EX move.
That's awesome.
So you can use this to do simple stuff, like you could do a shadow kick. They try to punish it, you special cancel into nut punch, then special cancel into uppercut, and then for free, without using a bar, you can get an air combo, then bring in your cameo to extend it, maybe Jax's backbreaker, and then finish your combo. So big, big damage if you've got the hype thing up.
And it's just fun to do.
It's also
super
incredibly
cool.
fun to do, and it's super fun to hear the crowd.
We will see
so
some.
goofy.
We'll see some amazing versions of it in the fight at the end of the show
Yes.
Right.
Lastly, there's one more mechanic I wanted to show. Johnny Cage has a unique mechanic where he can actually break a throw, use 1 bar of meter to break your arm, and then disable your throws for limited time. So if you could neutral jump and do a throw, I'll show you.
Oh.
That was not a neutral throw.
today. What? There we go.
Oh, sorry, it was. I just mistimed it.
All good.
So there you go.
And
now,
I am pounding on the throw button,
And nothing happened.
and I cannot throw.
yeah.
That is so.
So it does
cool.
take a bar, but it's a pretty neat
There we go.
mechanic.
So a little bit of time.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's what I love. I love the little bits of new
Yes.
energy coming into the game. It's super fun to see.
You always got to keep them fresh.
That mechanic is just super neat. Like, because I love throwing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
my throw punishes are broken.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
I mean-
awesome.
All right, so let's start with Smoke. I
Good.
think when you think about Smoke throughout the last 30 years now, I think mobility is one of the things I think of. You look at when he was a secret character in MK2, he had super fast walk speed. He could walk up and throw you in like 2 seconds. Then you look at MK3, he had Human had the teleport punch, and then Robot had the teleport uppercut, and then all the way in MK9 he had the phase, the shake, smoke bomb teleport. Like, I think he's always been a character that can get in.
Always had mobility.
Exactly.
Always had mobility and ways to close the gap and also be right on top of you. Teleport punch!
Right. He's dangerous from full screen anywhere. You want to hit a button, he has an opportunity to blow you up for it. And that continues in MK1. So let's take a look.
Let's do.
But first, let's talk about his normal attacks. One of the new things you might notice is he has this knife, which is a karambit, which is from Indonesia, I believe. And he uses it in most of his normal attacks. You can see he has this slicey dice.
Slicey dice, yep. He's just cutting you up.
Low slice.
There goes your Achilles.
He uses it in his uppercut, jabs, and his throw.
Oh, right under the mouth. That's the worst. Yeah.
Another noteworthy thing about his normal attacks is he has a really good long distance overhead, which is his back two.
Yep. That definitely covers some space.
Yeah,
that's
it
for
does.
dang sure. And that's going to put him right where he wants to be up close, right?
Exactly. And it is complemented by a low that could be a combo starter.
So he's got instantly the low overhead mix-ups.
Exactly.
The blender.
The blender.
Yes. Yeah, I think he's going to be an awesome mix-up character. So let's go over his special moves. You can kind of see how he plays up close. So how is he going to get that 50-50 going?
Yeah.
So the first thing we'll talk about is his anti-air options. One of his brand new special moves is this anti-air night toss. Jump.
Oh,
Catch you in the
nailed
air
it.
And pull you in. Jump again. And if he EX it, he pulls you right up with a bunch of recovery. And then you can actually go into your mix-ups.
Right. So he has his own kind of get over here, if you will.
Exactly.
And he's patrolling the skies.
Yeah. So he also has a new take on the classic smoke bomb. He throws the smoke bomb into the air and then will drop down. This will track the opponent. So up close, he'll be real quick, and even full screen. He'll always go behind them, and it's an overhead.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So
Now.
constantly closing the distance.
Exactly. So if you read a projectile, if you think they're crouch blocking because of the low, you can go for that. And the EX version has an extra special property. Instead of dropping down and doing that attack, he'll just drop down and he'll be invisible.
Because that's what you want, is to deal with somebody with overheads and lows and invisible.
Right.
Yeah,
so
sounds
if
like
you
great.
were thinking, I don't know, that back to, I bet I could react to that.
Right.
How do you react to an overhead that you literally
Can't
cannot see?
You start spamming stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Low pokes, low pokes. Get.
So another special move is the classic teleport. This time it starts as a low, then goes into the teleport.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So if you EX it, you get a combo starter.
And that punch is very, like, throwbacky to, like,
Exactly.
MK3
it's like a
robot.
new take on Robot Smoke.
Love it. I love it.
He also can cancel this one.
Oh, okay. Something I will never do. Nope. I commit, okay, at all times.
You do.
And there's a fun property. If
Oh.
you EX cancel it, he turns invisible.
Okay, so you can go invisible in other ways.
I tried to find you, but you punched me first.
And lastly, he has a new take on his phase teleport move. He will phase through, go full screen no matter where you are, and go in with his attack. And this can be used not just to close the gap and check the opponent, but it can go under fireball. So, please fireball.
Let's see if you can do it. Oh, wow, first time Lanny.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
And this can also be canceled.
I was just gonna ask.
So instead of, you make a hard read on a projectile, if it has a lot of recovery, you can actually stop right in front of them and get a full punish.
And go into your business.
Go into
Or-
the business.
Exactly. If they're blocking, you can go ahead, stop in front of them, go for a 50-50, jump over, throw, whatever you want.
Cool. Did you do his throw yet?
I did.
Oh, okay.
How?
Oh yeah, under the mouth. Didn't want to see it again. Just kidding.
When you're playing Smoke, what kind of what are you looking for in a cameo?
Great question. And I'm always a big fan of pointing out that you could shore up on your weaknesses. Like, you'll notice he doesn't have a traditional projectile.
Correct.
So you could give him someone like Sonya who has ring toss. Or you can double down on what you have and maybe get even bigger combos. Or maybe you can use someone who has new combo starters and mix-ups options. But what I picked here is Cameo Sub-Zero, who makes counter zoning even better because he has a really nifty, tricky move where he coats you in ice armor and you become projectile immune.
Oh.
So let's wait for it to refresh.
For sure.
Fireball me.
Fireball me.
He is literally just absorbing fireballs and can walk you down.
And he's taking no damage from that?
Correct.
What?
He could also turn invisible and have it on.
But now
Okay.
I want to spam it out now.
Yeah, so you pointed out earlier, one of the best things to do when someone's invisible is to start spamming projectiles. And
Right.
you can hit a stray while he's trying to move around. He can literally use Sub-Zero, become projectile immune, be invisible, teleport behind you, and then start doing 50-50.
That's very sneaky.
He is sneaky.
That's
I
very
think,
sneaky. Sneaky ninja.
and that's a great key word there, ninja, because I don't think Smoke's ever been this much of a ninja, in my opinion. I think it's pretty rad.
Oh yeah, no, I'm loving it. I think it's very cool. You know me, I'm one of those in-your-face kind of players.
You do like rushing down.
Nothing but risk.
I think I had to remind you of the block button once.
Yeah, probably.
And yeah, he definitely feels like he's going to be high risk, but really, really flashy, very, very quick.
And that's when you talk about like how you want to deal with Smoke as an opponent. Risk.
Right, yeah, I think you're going to have kind of two strategies. One would be accept that he's going to counter zone you. Your fireballs are not going to be super efficient. Just play the game, patient, bait him out, punish him. Or the rush down guy, and like someone like Liu Kang who might have faster normals up close, be able to poke him out, go for your own mix-ups, that kind of stuff.
Got it.
Cool. Cool.
But he is definitely gonna bait mistakes, punish people that are, getting too big for their britches, and then go for his big combos and all that. And I think he's gonna be really exciting to watch.
Awesome. We should probably take a look at the. You have anything more?
No, I think we should show you the Fatal Blow.
Let's do it.
So this also goes with this theme. It'll track you no matter where you on screen, and it's an overhead. So check out this.
All right. Blam.
So, any last notes about Smoke?
No, I'm just really excited to see like the really creative players mix him up with different cameos and stuff, and then go crazy with the cancels and all that. I think it's going to be really cool. ASHRAH is from Mortal Kombat Deception. She was then in Armageddon, and she's been absent for 17 years. There's a whole bunch of fans who have never even seen her in a game because they may have started with X or who knows what MK9.
Yeah.
This is really exciting, and I am super happy to see
This is a brand new character for a lot of our newer players. Right.
And it's been so long since we've seen her. She's kind of been redesigned and reimagined anyway. So she's got a real fresh coat of paint. So let's check her out.
Let's do it.
All right.
So ASHRAH is a demon who has found an artifact, the Chris. It's a mystical sword. And when she slays demons with it, it purifies her soul. So she fights with the Chris all the time, and you could imagine that gives her exceptionally good range.
How many bad things do you think she's done that she's constantly having to purify her soul?
She is literally a demon from the nether realm, so I think she's been a bad girl.
All right.
She's been through it.
All right. She's done a few bad things.
You can see almost all of her normal attacks use her weapon. Like she's got a super good uppercut,
Which is going to give her good range instantly.
Even her sweep uses her sword.
Little bop there.
Is that the professional term?
Yeah, we all know that's the bop.
I've played against Dan in Cinematics plays a lot of ASHRAH, and the range she keeps you at is one of those sort of frustrating ranges.
Right. Let's go over her throw. The slashy slash.
The slashy slash. We got a bop. We got a slashy slash. Ooh, good old frost throw.
And now let's go over special moves because they are very neat. She has a really unique playstyle. So the first thing she has is projectile, which is not a typical fast, tiny projectile. It takes up a ton of real estate on screen. It does not go full screen, and it's not the fastest in the world, but it reaches almost to the top of the screen.
So you're not jumping it.
Exactly.
Right.
And you're not ducking it.
Exactly.
Good one, Tyler.
Also has crisscross, which is a sword slash, which is an excellent combo ender, and control kind of the ground and the air. And what's one of the ways you beat like long-range footsie tools?
You beat?
Beat it, yeah, by jumping.
Yeah.
So you could say crisscross makes you
Jump.
Wow. You really set these up.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I don't understand why people say this is cringe. I don't get that.
No, not at all.
It's my least favorite term on the internet, by the way.
So, did any of the attacks you were just showing have EX versions?
Yes. In fact, I'll show one right now. The sword uppercut, which when you EX it, allows her to combo.
Awesome. But the projectile and the crissity-crossity?
They just do more damage.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I think crisscross has a pop-up.
Okay, cool.
So thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, team, no problem.
And then lastly, we have her ghost dash. So this is a cool move where she sends a ghost, travels as far as she wants, and she can cancel it.
Nope.
And she can also do this quicker version that goes behind you.
But you're following it.
Exactly.
So, for the most part, she's got a bunch of range attacks,
Yes.
and she can get distance with her sword attacks. So she really kind of plays that mid to far game. And if you try jumping in at her, she has that special move that just is a rising sword attack that's just then going to allow her to extend air combos.
Exactly.
Nailed it.
But there's one really cool mechanic involved in all this that makes her just an added layer to make her a little bit more in-depth.
Tell us about that layer. Let's
She can
peel that onion.
Tap into her dark side, and this changes the properties on most of her special moves.
Okay.
Her fireball becomes a ground spark. It can reach full screen.
Oh,
It's a
geez.
short, medium, and far version.
Okay. And so that you have to choose which version, right?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Pretty quick.
Sorry, I gotta turn it back on.
All right, gotta turn on the darkness.
Her shadow charge completely changes, and now it actually teleports her to the location.
Okay.
And she can again cancel it,
Okay. Okay.
or actually go directly to where the ghost is. And she can use that to go behind you, she can cancel it, and she can still do the quick attack.
Okay.
Now, one thing you might notice is when she's doing these moves, the opponent is getting dark side attached to them. which
Yeah.
can stack
Those little
up-
swirly things around there, right?
Exactly, which can stack up to 3 times. Once she turns back to light, all of her light attacks will then do an extra hit of damage, depending on how many stacks she has.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Now, some of the ghost slashes. Can you do any of those in the air, anything like
Yes,
that? Yeah.
She can do all the ghost slashes in the air and drop down.
Oh, jeez.
She can do an attack, she can have combos with it.
What can't she do?
Pretty much
I don't think she has a command grab.
she does not have a command
Okay.
grab.
So, and
Or a pure soul.
So playing as her, your goal is really you're switching back and forth and back and
Exactly.
forth to get
Yes.
as much damage as you can.
Yes, you're going to be wanting to switch it back and forth depending on the range you're at, what the opponent's tools are. And,
You can really
know.
min-max your damage.
And you're locking them down
Exactly.
with distance anyway, too.
So, let's talk about cameos. I chose Frost.
Okay.
You might be saying, now how am I supposed to be switching in and out in the middle of a fight?
Right.
Liu Kang's going to be advancing on me. He might do his flying kick,
Mm.
his fireballs, and all that. Well, let's cover a couple of Frost moves. One is the ground ice, straight from Deadly Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Super fast, low combo starter.
And it seems to cover like a majority of the screen.
Exactly. This is going to be a big time movement check when you're fighting Frost.
Mm-hmm.
You could let it rip at any time. It's going to be super dangerous. And that's going to keep the opponent on their toes.
And then boom, you've hit it. Swap.
Exactly. She also has Orby Orb,
Orby Orb.
where she sends a frozen orb out. A slow moving orb that'll freeze the opponent if it hits them.
And you gotta respect that, that's basically it.
Exactly. A perfect time to switch your stance, get your things going.
Cool.
And then lastly, she has this
Nope.
stalactite move that's a super quick combo ender. Or if she holds it, she gets a secret special 4th move
What?
where she does these stabby stabs. And if you block, you can see this has. Can you
Block.
pick up the controller and
sorry,
block? This will actually push you full screen and do chip, and that can get you back in range to be going for your.
And that's a
switching
low
around.
too that you're doing there.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And now the meter burner hold down stabby stab. Did that cost any additional meter or anything like
I
that?
believe it's still the same as regular.
Okay.
I believe. I do not have the cooldown times.
Okay.
and also something to mention, still game in progress. Things
Yeah.
are still being tweaked and
Yes.
balanced and whatnot.
Totally.
So things you see here, damage-wise and that sort of thing, may change.
Yeah.
Obviously. So,
So-
just
Oh,
keep that in mind.
there's a very good chance.
Yes.
There's a very good chance.
Well,
they will
I'll
do-
remember the combo I did back in
Oh, here he
11
goes.
that just didn't work later.
No.
And
Oh,
I
the
still
Dundee.
The Dundee. Yeah.
Dundee, and I still hear about it to this day.
So let's check out our fatal blow. I think the wings are so rad.
Yeah. Huge fan of the wings.
It's an audible gasp during the fatality.
Yeah. And that is ASHRAH. It is super exciting to have her back. I love how we've, again, taken these almost 20-year-old characters and reimagined them.
Like, I've been playing GERAS for a little bit now, and I'm just starting to test those.
GERAS was pretty popular in MK11.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think in this game, he's definitely a thinking man's grappler and
Right.
brawler.
Oh, see that
Well-
may be a problem.
Could be a problem. So let's actually go ahead and talk about him. I am going to go with I went with Goro, mainly because I love Goro, and also he does help with my game plan a lot, and we'll go
Right.
through that in a little bit.
And you like a team of bigs.
I do. So just real quick, Goro has a couple moves. He has punch in the air, right? So you can do that.
Punch,
To,
yep.
You can do that to sort of elongate combos sometimes, things like that.
Yes.
He also has stomp.
You
Which-
can't have Goro without Stomp.
Now listen, stomp is different.
Oh.
Stomp takes your entire bar.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it is full.
See?
So I know people will be like, stomp. You have to commit to it. And then finally he has a thing called the omelet toss, which is... I just did the wrong button.
No, that's punch walk.
Punch walk again.
That's punch walk.
He has omelet toss where he will throw you up in the air.
Omelet toss.
Omelet toss.
And he will... So that can be grabbed, like if you're ducking, for instance, that can be... it can be used to...
Omelet toss?
Don't do that. So that's what I use. Now, I want to go through some of the strings, and this will all kind of make sense a little bit how he works. Probably my favorite string he has is forward 4-4, which is just hits the ground, pops you up. It's a low.
Do you make a little sandcastle there?
He
What
makes
happened
a little sand at the end, boom, knocks you up. So for this, then you can start doing your air stuff. Let's go over the air stuff real quick. He has 4 unique grabs he can do in the air based off his air combos. So he has this, where he'll give you the old pile driver.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Which you are a fan of.
I am.
And you can see that
Choke slam.
switch sides of the opponents
Yes,
on
you can
that.
choose what side to switch. And then you can do this with different inputs. Oh, I did it wrong, sorry.
And when you say with different inputs, what do you...
Different punches in the air.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Lead
gotcha.
to different things. So one is 1-2, the other is 2-1.
Gotcha.
And then he's got this one where he'll just... Oh, I did that wrong.
It's really neat to see the air combat extend to grappling.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
He'll knee you away.
Yeah.
air combat, just a huge fan. I just
It's
love.
so
I'm
fun.
so in love with it.
He also has this overhead, which is so it's not
What?
it's not safe entirely, but it's you can throw this out there quite a bit because you get a big amount of pushback and you're
Right.
back to back. He's got back 1-2, which is neat because this is that range where you don't want to be here, get a little closer, right? And that can be canceled too, so you can do like things like that.
Oh, you
Nice.
brought a buddy out.
I did. Let's do the throws real quick before I forget, because I know people get mad if we forget the throws, and I understand that.
They are very cool.
Goro comes in.
And Goro kind of got a glow up too, for
He
anybody
did a
that
little
didn't
bit,
notice,
yes.
right? From the earlier first views of Goro, oh, he's gotten a glow up.
Oh, I don't want to forget this too, because I know people want to see that he does indeed have body splash.
And if a character has a body splash, that's instant means Tyler's gonna play them.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is one of the cooler moves too. He's got. I think we've all seen the wall he can do.
He's got a little belly bump. Little belly
And you'll
bump.
throw him through the wall. And here's the other thing: you can kind of throw this out like from distance. Let me get a little far away from you. You can kind of even it's not a projectile, but it can be kind of feel like one in a way.
Right. And the beginning reminds me of how people block in No Mercy for N64.
It really does.
So that's important.
There it
too.
is. There
Right.
it is. Yep. I'm gonna go over some specials now. So this is the one that changes his game.
Okay.
It's called Countdown, and he'll put a hourglass out, right? And this is what I was talking about. He wants to keep you out. Like got it. Now I have 3 loaded. Once he has 3 loaded, he can do it again. Up behind you, and now you are frozen. And the last move you take is the reaction you have, like the frozen thing from the last game.
Right.
If you meter burn it, you have 3 already. Now throw a projectile. I wasn't ready yet. Try again. So if I got to read it harder. Go ahead. So if you do that, you can. If you're hard reading things like that, you can get behind him and whatnot.
Sure.
So once you have that out, the game changes.
Right.
They are afraid of moving. Now it's blockable. It is blockable, but the game.
How are you gonna block that?
I played enough people when they're starting to read it.
Okay, all right, I got you.
Here's another thing. Go ahead and do some damage to me. Okay. Now we have it set to 1% right now, but when you do that, the other thing you can do is if you meter burn the snap like that, you can redo what you've done, go back to where you were,
Rewind time,
and get your health back.
What?
Nice. And
So-
that uses the same clocks that you would charge for the
Yes.
So
behind you.
you can charge the clock, and once that clock is fully charged 3 times or
Yes.
whatever, then you have multiple moves that branch from that.
Yes.
Wow.
Now this it
There's
gets,
another layer.
It gets better.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't show you one of the different strings on purpose.
Oh, okay.
So you can do this. This string, as you see, brings out an hourglass, and guess what? That counts.
That counts.
It does.
Oh,
Let's move on.
that's cool.
Let's move on to another move.
Okay.
Sandstorm, right?
Now, is there different distances for Sandstorm, or is it track?
Yes, there are.
Different distances. Gotcha.
It also can be a meterless launcher,
oh,
right? So you can be like this. and catch them, but I couldn't do that. Meterless launcher. Now, where they're standing in the sandstorm depends on where they like. If they're at the back of it, they'll fly backwards.
Gotcha.
If they're the front of it, they're front.
That's
forward.
science.
Now, if I meter burn it, you got to set. See that another clock?
Nice.
It'll time out, and then explode. So you're kind of controlling space.
Right.
But that also adds to your clock.
Interesting.
So
And that's going to force them to either advance or back up. Back up is good for you. Advancing, then
Right.
you can go for your mix-ups.
So super cool stuff you can do with that. I really enjoy just hitting it, and then you can, that's probably for later.
Oh!
So it could change the way the game's played.
Yeah. He plays his own game.
What I just showed was world stop, just back forward 1. You can just stop time, and I can do this. Now I can go on either side too, where I can hold back and land there. If you meter burn it, it just turns into another time stop.
Oh man. He seems pretty nasty.
He is nasty.
Yeah.
He seems pretty nasty.
The effects are amazing looking too.
He definitely. He does have a command grab, which you can throw away, or you can throw toward. Oops, sorry. Like that. Now here's the fun part. Let's say you're in the corner.
Let's say you're in.
Now I would love Liu Kang to be in the corner.
Right.
So I can do that, right?
Yep, there he goes.
Or if I want to do more damage, anytime you throw someone away from the corner, you get the one.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's nasty.
So if I'm throwing so you can give up good spacing if you want to cash out that extra damage.
Damage or positioning.
Like,
yeah.
is this gonna end the round?
Right.
If I do that, throw them out.
Yeah, totally.
At least I would.
Yeah.
So that command grab's really great. It can also it'll combo too. Like if it's in the air, you can't combo on the ground, but if it's in the air, you can catch people.
The range on it is also very interesting.
Yeah, so you can do it from close, but also right about here. So
Yeah, that's really, really
you
good.
always and also just point blank.
Right.
So he's pretty much good up close, mid, and far.
Far, he has a little more trouble far.
Sure.
Far, he's going to be able to set up his stuff.
I was gonna
but
say,
not
then you're
as
just-
much press advantage.
You're putting up
right.
clocks.
But
if
people
you're far.
also, you can start getting hit with projectiles during that period.
Right.
Right.
And also, you will notice the more you play against the GERAS, the snap thing, I've been blocked on it a whole bunch of times, so people know that you're trying
Sure.
to set that up.
But now, obviously, then if they have the mental stack where they are then focused on blocking it or punishing it or doing fireballs, that means that's your opportunity. You've established that, you condition them. Now he could advance forward and go for his overhead, his low, his grab.
Right.
If you're doing something that makes the opponent pause, then you've won.
And is it more dangerous sometimes to hold it for a full round?
Exactly, yes.
Right. And also, they may forget they're looking for the snap, and now they do a combo to you, and you just rewind out of it. You
Yes,
use it for that.
That's a great point.
So next thing we got, this is a, oops, there it was again, sorry. He's got this burst, right? Denial here, and it's just just kind of a pushback. You can
get
combo
off me.
it, right?
Nope.
But I would say that's not the time you can do it. But the cool thing is, it is his metered. It does a
His armored move.
armored move. Yes, sorry.
Oh, okay.
So let's say I'm in the corner, and I want to wake up to it. I can. Oh, not me. There we go.
Gotcha.
There
Get
you
off
go.
of me.
And
Get
it's
off
really
me.
good if I get jumped on the in the. So
Yeah, it's just your
Right.
get off me tool.
yes,
For sure.
So he does have that. I know GERAS. It seems like he has a lot. I will say once you start playing it, it all sort of flows together very, very well.
Right.
Once you start getting the game plan down, he has this move here, which is really cool. So go full screen for me. I can do this, and now look, I am ethereal. Now hit me. If you hit me, I can take it. Oh, I can take a hit, right? So hold on, and then I will go back where I started. You can do that with projectiles.
Oh,
right?
really?
But now I can do things like this, where I will walk you down. I know I have a hit I can take, or I can walk you down, and you're like, "What's he doing? What's he doing?" And I can still do moves.
That's so cool.
Now here's where it gets crazy.
This has been pretty crazy already. I don't know what the next level of crazy
Yeah,
could be.
we've never done one of these. You're like, but wait, there's more.
There is one more thing which I've actually had QA make a video for because I am not good at doing it yet, but it's really cool. So the meter burn version will freeze time, and you're able to use your clone and yourself. You'll see. Let's take a look at that video.
Whew.
That's so cool.
Right.
It's really giving me some Kenshi vibes.
You know, that part is will probably be the last thing I put into my repertoire, and it'll probably be something simple for myself as just an average player. But I've already started finding things that I can do with it. So that's GERAS. I think he's a ton of fun. I've really enjoyed.
His fatal blow.
You're right.
I was gonna say he didn't do his fatal blow, bud.
Let's do that. Oh, right. So it is from about where you start a battle is where as its distance, and then it teleports to you and grabs.
This is so painful looking.
He'll be fine.
Awesome. So that's
GERAS.
GERAS.
Yeah, I think, a lot of times people look at like brawlers or grapplers as being like simplistic or like, honestly kind of dumb and derpy.
Right.
And he's the opposite of that. He is a fairly complex, nuanced.
Well, he's got to protect the hourglass, so he's got to be
He's a
fully
smart
loaded
guy.
with anything that he needs.
And like I said too, because I'm obviously like a lot of players out there, average if not a percent more.
Right.
And I've still found so much to do, and I haven't even scratched the surface of some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what players who are far better than me are able to figure out. Because right now, doing the stuff I'm doing, I'm having a blast.
Or if you just want to knock someone in the air and do a pile driver, you can just
Still
easily
fun.
do that too.
Still fun.
And it happens a lot, and it's super cool.
Well, SINDEL from the very beginning, all the way back in MK3, and then you saw in 9 and the last game, has been kind of a space control, zoning character, but then these little dashes of swag with her flight cancels and some of her more interesting moves and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of kind of, basic keep out stuff, but then there's when you get your game going, she has some really cool combos and setups and stuff like that. So she appeals to someone like me who's more straightforward, but then like kind of the technical people really, really like her too. She also is she's the queen. She's cool.
And she does have some mechanics we'll show near the end of the breakdown that are kind of different. Something we've not done before, and it's super exciting.
She has some exciting new stuff we'll show at the end of this breakdown that literally wouldn't have been possible before the cameo system.
Let's take a look at the queen.
All right, so let's start with some of the basics. Two cool things about her in this game is she has these cool VFX, like this purple energy, and then the use of her hair.
Regal purple. The
Absolutely.
queen.
She has really good range, as you'd imagine someone with magical long hair. And there's a couple normals I really wanted to talk about. First is forward 4, which kind of takes out of a page of the last game, and it's like kind of her main mid-range tool you want to use to get in.
And that's a mid, right?
Yes. And it's pretty quick, but it has a really neat new follow-up. She jumps into the air, it's a low combo starter, and she can actually control how far she goes. She can do the close version, and actually land right in front of them, far version. Or she could just do it by itself, go in for a throw.
That's a wrap.
Thank you. Go for this cool low. Or one of her block strings. Another normals is back 2, which leads into an overhead, and she can combo into it, or you can do back 2 by itself and actually be airborne. Let's go over the special moves. We'll start with the classic, the scream, the iconic, quintessential SINDEL move. It's still one of her best combo starters. It stuns. They can't hear anything for a while. She's gonna get a free hit. You can kind of do it at mid-range if you think you caught them sleeping, not blocking. Like I said, it's great to hit confirm. It's
With punish.
Exactly.
I just
right.
throw it out all the time.
All the time. Then let's go over fireballs, which are always one of the most important kind of key things about her offense. She has high hairball, low hairball.
Which is in the moves list.
Yes, that's canonical, hairball. And then air hairball. New to this game is it's a straight, very quick fireball. It is not the downward arc it has previously done. You can do it really low to the ground and it's quick, and I think it's pretty effective. Look at that, I still got it. Her EX versions have some interesting properties. So, straight one, the straight one will actually eat up fireballs. So if you use a bar meter in a zoning war, you'll actually beat out their projectile. And the low ones are really neat. So she adds that little hair whip at the beginning, and up close, actually a hit that will pop them up. Which means in the corner, you can do cool stuff. Like, get a combo. Oh my gosh. There we go. Maybe I don't still have it.
I think you do.
Thank you. So it's neat. It turns this pure zoning tool up close into an actual offensive tool.
So 2 different ways you can use it.
Exactly.
Both equally cool.
You can also use that with your mix-ups, which gets to the next tool, her cartwheel. The overhead, straight from MK9. If you EX it, it has armor. It's really good up close. It's great as a wake-up attack. You can use it after moves like this. You can mix it up with low, or sweep, and a really fun down three. Look at that.
So like for me, when I play against you, you really have to be paying attention because one of the moves is a mid, the other is overhead.
Exactly.
They look different, but you have to.
Yes.
You can't be on autopilot.
Right. And then lastly, she has the classic levitate. If she can float in the air, she can drop straight down. So like for example, you're trying to zone. We can standing low fireballs to go under your hairball. Not very effective to low fireball when you're literally not touching the ground.
Right.
She can also cancel it, and she can do fun cancels. Like for example, she can do the back two, the airborne, go into flight, and if you EX it, it's actually significantly faster. And she has some true block strings that they won't be able to interrupt.
Got it.
Now let's talk about how this can play into her cameo. I have chosen, oops, set it to all. I have chosen Serena, who we got a little taste of in the last trailer, but now we're actually going to show her moves. So her first attack is the blade. It's a very quick projectile. You can see the cooldown is pretty quick. Then she also has Kia's blades. She goes full demon, throws multiple, they come back, and this actually leads into combos, so you can do fun stuff. You confirm that into a full combo.
That did look fun.
It is fun.
And she can really get up in the air.
Yes.
In a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways. She also has her demon up kick, which is a great wake-up attack. It's invincible. It's really quick. You can also use it as an anti-air. And then lastly, she has a fourth move. Every cameo has at least 3, and some might have more, so she's one of those. Jakata's Curse. She puts this rune on the ground, and while the opponent is standing in it, let's set it to default, Liu Kang's meter is being drained. Pretty quick,
Yeah,
you can
pretty
see.
fast.
Yeah. Now this is an ambush move, which means you can do it while SINDEL's doing other actions. So for example, while you have a combo going, you can summon her.
Oh, there's a lot of setups there.
Yeah, so you can imagine you can use that in the corner, in the middle of your combo, have her coming out, drain your meter, stuff like that. She could even do nasty stuff like drain your meter so you can't break a combo in the middle of your combo.
She's not gonna like breakers very much.
She does not, which is, let's maybe get into that a little bit more. So, let's go back to what we said earlier. SINDEL has a couple of moves using the cameo system. So, you know, SINDEL in the lore, she's the queen. She has this commanding presence. She has, you know, what the kids would say is Riz.
Oh, they would say that.
Thank you. And, you know, she could use that to actually command her cameo and maybe more. So let's start with this buff move. Once you activate it, while it's active, cooldown, it will be significantly faster for your cameo. So you can see normally, this move's already pretty quick. Once she has this active, it's even quicker, and Serena, she is recovering so fast her cooldown, she can basically do that like almost indefinitely. So you can turn what normally would be kind of a limited use move into something that you can just use almost like any other special move. Or some of the other ones like Kia's blades to have a pretty long cooldown. It's significantly faster when she has that active.
Now she's giving herself up there.
Correct.
There is some, yeah.
Correct. But once she gets going, her cameo use is substantially better. There's also an EX version with a really interesting twist. When she EX it, she's now commanding the opponent's cameo, and if the opponent tries to break, they will be stunned, and you get a reset instead. So let's show that again. I have the move active. The opponent goes for a breaker. You can see Sonya actually is like, gets the little head and, you know, oh my god, I'm confused. And your breaker is not just disabled. Once you get that stun, they popped up and SINDEL gets a full reset.
Got it.
No breakers allowed.
Couple ways to avoid them, seems
Yes.
like for her.
There's also another really interesting move I'd like to show. So for this one, SINDEL can take control of an opponent's cameo and stun them. So for example, I will call it out, and Sonya is actually dizzy.
Yep.
If SINDEL is in the middle of doing this move, where she points, while the cameo's out, so you have to do it on a read, the cameo is stunned for this entire length of time and cannot be summoned.
Okay.
There's also an EX version. With this version, Sonya will leave the screen and I gain control of her. And I actually get a free use of either of the cameo's moves of my choosing. So for example, I now have Square Wave. And that use of
you can pick any of them.
Correct.
Not just
Any
the one
of
they were
Sonya's
doing.
moves. Right.
Got it.
I have control over it for a pretty good amount of time, and it does not cost any kind of cooldown or anything. So you could actually do stuff like I could summon Sonya to start leg grab to go into a combo, and then go into Serena's demon like anti-air move to end the combo if I wanted. You could even use 3 cameo moves in one combo if you wanted to.
People are gonna have some fun in training mode on this one.
Yeah, it's really, really neat, and it's something that's gonna, you know, how effective and the way you use it's gonna change on what the opponent's cameo is.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Do we want to do Fatal Blow? Is that all?
I think that's the best way we can finish, right?
Let's do it. I love how the hair gets all
Oh yeah, the
crazy,
big hair is
super cool.
amazing. Yeah, he
So-
probably has like mostly new moves to go with his new role, like his new power set. It's pretty neat, so let's check it out.
Let's do it.
So you'll notice right off the bat, he has a new weapon, which is his wizard staff. And he uses it in most of his normal attacks. And he is definitely now much less of a physical fighter than he ever has been before. He is a very powerful mage, and he uses it in most of his attacks. A couple normals I really wanted to talk about. Like you can see even his sweep. Instead of using his foot, he literally uses his water staff. This is definitely
I love the
coolest
kick
too.
up. The kick
It's
up.
so good.
And you'll notice the water leaves the top, gets in there, and then comes back to the top.
Right. I absolutely love it. So let's start off with a couple normals I really wanted to show. His forward 2, forward 2, 1, 3 is this like really good range mid, pretty quick. He's also got forward 3, which is an overhead, into a double overhead, and he gets a pop-up. That'll be one of his most important, I think. And then one other normal I really wanted to show was a standing 4, which even though he's no longer a ninja, he still has tremendous leg strength.
Right.
So strong that he can actually kick you across the world. Now this is an interesting one because if you hold it, he gets a combo. And he can also cancel out of the hold to fake you out.
Okay.
There you go. See, I'm good. And let's check out his throw, which is a nice nod to the classic water bubble. He goes in with you, and then you burst out. So you can see his normal attacks are very fresh and different. And I think the water effects are awesome. So you want to go into his special moves?
I think so.
So he has some really interesting zoning tools. I mean, some might even call him a premier zoner. And let's start with his straight projectile, which takes up a ton of real estate, is fairly quick, and has some interesting ways that you can change it. If you EX it, he gets a full knockdown. He can actually hold it down and get a stagger. And you can actually cancel out of this hold down. So you can mix up doing the move,
Yeah.
doing different timings, doing EX, or canceling out of it. Keep the opponent guessing. When you have a projectile like that that takes up a ton of space, what's the one thing you know the opponent's going to try to do to beat it?
Jump?
Jump. And that's not going to be super effective because he has an anti-air version. And this has a very neat EX that actually allows him to pop up for combos.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's pretty cool. Again, it makes a full screen projectile become kind of an offensive tool up close. Now, one thing would be, well, what happens if they're using projectiles against him? And he has a water bubble where he surrounds himself in water, and any projectile is going to be negated. It'll actually just be destroyed when it hits the water bubble. And this is something that he can set up, go behind, go in the middle of.
Works as a shield.
Exactly. But if you EX it, it surrounds him and travels with him.
Kind of walk him down.
Exactly. So then you can go in, do his lows, do his overhead, all that good stuff when he has the water shield on.
Gotcha.
Now, there's other ways you can get in. He could set these water portals, and he can set them anywhere he wants. And then he can actually warp through him. So you could do cool stuff, like set one here, go in when you want to get out, warp back to where you were. Or, when you're in, you can set one, do some fun zoning, and then use this to get back in.
Okay.
And then you can go straight into combos, fun stuff like that. Now, once you've established that you're willing to teleport or throw out some of these fireballs, and the opponent's scared to move, you can start using the Whirlpool. And he has close, medium, and far. These will go on the ground, and if the opponent walks into it, they get popped up for combos.
I love how he just grabs the top of his staff and
Yes,
throws it down.
it is
Really
so cool looking. Another move he has is his Geyser. This is a pretty good advancing special he can 2 and 1 into, and if he EX it, it has armor. So it's a good wake-up attack, a good way to beat pressure, and I think it'll be one of his best combo enders. And then lastly, one more awesome full range move that kind of shows the full extent of his power.
Oh. So cool.
And this is a move that he can actually hold, or cancel and just drop down. So you can do stuff like you're doing your water ball, and what's called it a fireball, and it's literally the opposite of that. Go into this, fake out the opponent, immediately drop down. You can do all kind of stuff. Set up portals, be doing that Thunder God move, cancel it, go through the portal, just all kind of options full screen. I think he's going to be a really interesting character to kind of freeze them up full screen to get in and start doing his mix-ups. And speaking of the mix-ups, let's kind of show how he can use his cameo and go with that. I assigned him Striker because I think a cop teaming with a wizard is the exact kind of thing you'd see in Mortal Kombat, right? So the first thing I'll show with Striker is he has his grenade toss. Straight out of MK3, comes in, throws the double grenades. They can either go low or high. And you can imagine, these are ambush moves, which means they can come out while Rain is doing his attacks. So you can do stuff like you're doing your straight water beam while he's doing his grenades. They can also aid you in combos. So you can do stuff like...
Got it.
Striker also has a set of baton moves. He's got Cop Bop, where he comes in and does an overhead, and the classic baton sweep from MK3. So these are lows and overheads. So, great
Got access
example.
to both of them.
Yes.
Nice.
So, one thing you could do, you got your overhead, your opponent's stand blocking all the time because they don't want to get popped up. What am I supposed to do? Sweep them. But you can also do this in a string. So in overhead, you can do overhead, low. Then they get used to the timing. They're like, oh, I'm one of these like Ninja Killer or Sonic people with good reflexes. I can fuzzy that. Then you start doing stuff like Cop Bop. Mix it up. So just from this 50-50, he can use Striker to have more 50-50s.
That's how you beat Sonic Fox.
That's the key. That's
Got it.
all you have to do.
Got
And
it.
like a famous football player once said, it's more than a 50-50.
Got it.
Lastly, Striker has one more move, which I think is probably my favorite.
My favorite thing is he used a sports reference.
Well, sort of.
Half and half.
Striker comes from behind and handcuffs you. And this gives you a reset. Then you get a bunch of advantage and you can go for a mix-up.
Okay.
So you get into your combos with a handcuff move, then go in and continue your offense. So like you could start a combo with your overhead, go into the handcuffs, and then make them guess low.
Got it.
It's super
That's
fun.
really cool.
Yeah. So I think that's Rain and Striker, and I maybe go into his Fatal Blow.
Let's take a look.
And I'll just say Striker is my favorite Fatal Blow.
Okay. All right, that was Rain.
Yep.
Very exciting. People get their hands on Rain soon. That'll be awesome.
He's definitely not washed up.
Nope. Some fresh moves to make your opponent salty. Let's take a look at how he works. So, big thing, just to show, this is kind of the thesis statement, just swings for the fences.
He's a
right?
powerhouse.
This is back two. It has advantage. So if you're blocking, don't want to push any buttons probably. Push
Yeah,
the
I was
buttons
just
there.
jabbing.
Don't do that because you're going to get hit.
Right.
Great move there. This is a really quick, kind of almost get a little distance to it too. Like I can get you from there. Like really nice, kind of can lead in some combos.
Right.
Punishing move I like to use is this right here. Very fast, bounces them up. We can show some more stuff with that later, but obviously you can see there's some pathways with that move.
I also really like how his kick attacks are just either uses Zax or he's just huge big boots.
Just like
Yeah,
standard
just-
big boot. And like a lot of people, I enjoy the two-player animation strings.
Right.
So he has this overhead, doesn't combo in anything, but hit the throw button afterwards.
So good.
And he also has a low one as well. And I'm sure we'll come back to those later as well.
Right.
Now let's talk about his special moves. His special move, the one that kind of encapsulates what he is Power Strike. He will just throw the axe on the ground, and there it is. And you have about 7-8 seconds just to do stuff without the axe, right? You can also call it back. Boom.
Okay.
Now when it's on the ground, different strings. That's back one.
Nice.
He also, and I get the axe back after, of course, doing the command grab.
So all of his axe moves get replaced with different normal attacks.
Yes.
And some are faster, some have different reactions.
Right. And some change some of your other special moves. We'll get to that in a second.
Even his throw changes.
Yes, even his throw. So here's his throw. while we're at it, let's just show the, Motaro as well. And then with the axe, he just bangs in the face with the axe.
Right.
Other specials he has. So you can huge. Well, that was the meter burn. I got a full screen projectile. Now, if you're close, you can. Sorry about that. You can do some of this.
Pops up. Nice.
Right. He has a buff. This makes your axe powers do more damage. You can also EX that to get more time on it as well. Big move in his arsenal that also leads to a lot of crazy good damage is his armored launcher is his knee.
It's kind of represented, kind of makes me think of the MK3 like up shoulder, except now it's a knee.
Right, and you can throw that out a lot of places. Always there. But if you EX the knee, you get a free power slam after that. So you can do like that.
Okay.
And then his axe is on the ground again.
Okay.
So that's how you rotate throughout the character, right? And now it's on the ground, now it's back to me. So then you can start doing really cool stuff like this into power slam, back into that.
Nice.
And that's a pretty nice chunky combo.
And now you have the axe back.
Right. When the axe is on the ground, other cool things can happen. Power slam. Now, I have a ground pound.
Neat.
Now, here's the interesting thing. When you are on the axe, it is an overhead low.
Okay.
Which is kind of tough to block.
Yeah.
You can also, throw this down, do this. Combo
And that's
after.
like a quick recall.
Right. Yeah, so if you have it down, you also have a move where you can just be near it, and it's very fast slash.
Okay.
So a lot of really cool stuff you can do.
And he's clearly meant to be going in and out during
Yes.
the fight, in the middle of combos, getting it back at the end of combos.
Maybe recalling it if you want to.
Right.
Lots of stuff like that. But if you are, as my opponent, near the axe, there's a lot of stuff you need to think about.
Right. So it's almost like with the axe, you have, kind of really good range, not the quickest moves. Without the axe, you're much quicker, and
Yes.
you can use it, establish the axe on the screen, and they're going to have to respect it, and that's going to kind of open up your grabs, your mix-ups, stuff like that.
And it's super cool. You can also, he also, has some, just pick stuff out of the air and that sort of thing. I mean, the knee into power strike is huge.
Right.
Right. Really important. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I do want to show some stuff with Motaro.
Okay.
So Motaro has a couple things you can use. Now, obviously, I'm a big guy. Projectiles might scare me.
Right.
Well, I can do this. I can pull them out, walk behind it. You don't want to be throwing projectiles at it.
That's so
That
good.
will reflect. And I'm walking it down with that.
I love that, that's a way to call back to his thick reflect skin from
Right.
MK3.
And now you're kind of you're a little confused. What do you do? Boom, you're
Nice.
He also has this turret he can do. Will shoot 3 shots at you. Has a low one too. He can do that. Now here's something that I've chosen Motaro with General SHAO for a reason.
Okay.
Remember this move?
Yes.
Can't do a lot out of it.
Right.
He has this teleport, right?
Okay.
Which maybe you can read a projectile, maybe not. But you can move around the battlefield quicker as
Right.
General SHAO. But with this overhead, I can teleport and still
That's a
continue a
true
combo.
combo.
It's a true combo. So now you have to worry about this, and you have to worry about something like this. Like that's now in play.
Right.
So you can do the full thing too. You can do like.
What a cool example of one of my favorite things about the Cameo system is it
Right.
allows you to break the rules and restrictions of your roster.
And I
character.
think that's why I love SHAO so much, is that he breaks the rules also with the knee into power slam. He's
Right.
It's a special into a special, which Johnny can do too. Of course, he breaks that rule at times with his meter, with his height meter. But yeah, there's a lot of cool, fun, sort of breaking the meta of what SHAO is, just so you can do with that.
And
Really
I think
cool.
it's so neat about the Cameo system. You kind of look at your play style, look at your character, and think, what are my weaknesses? What are the things I think I'm missing? And you can use your Cameo to turn those weaknesses into strengths.
And for me, it's like if I'm so far away from people, just as a zoner, just even having this just to get me out of dodge, right?
Right.
Now I'm close again.
Now
and
you're
now
close.
now you don't want to be there. Let's show the Oh, we need to turn up to do the...
Yeah, give yourself 1%.
Let's do that real quick. Show the fatal blow.
It's a real good one.
Drops it from the sky.
Oh, he's not horsing around.
Oh, well, bye. General SHAO.
Pretty cool.
Super fun. I've had a really good time playing with them. Just a different style of fighting, different than you're used to for General SHAO, so
Right.
it's been a really cool time.
Yeah, and I think it's really neat. You know, we also showed GERAS having these big brute characters who you might think is like, oh, they're brain dead brawlers or whatever. And no, in this game, no, they're not. They're definitely, you know, really interesting, nuanced characters. It's really cool.
Fight!